All right, folks, let me ask you something. If I handed you a 1991 D. Lincoln penny, would you toss it in a jar, spend it, or wait for it, cash it in for a whopping $3.4 million? Yeah, you heard that right. There's a 1991 D penny out there that's worth more than a beachfront house, a fleet of sports cars, or enough tacos to last several lifetimes. And today, we're diving deep into why this one little coin is making collectors lose their minds and their wallets. Now, before we get into the juicy details, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, rummaging through a dusty old coin box, when I found a 1991 D penny. My heart nearly jumped out of my chest. Could it be the one? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But ever since that day, I've been obsessed with tracking down rare coins, and today, I'm going to share everything you need to know about this $3.4 million unicorn of a penny. So, grab your change jar, check between the couch cushions, and let's see if you've been sitting on a fortune all this time. Let's start with the basics. The 1991 D penny, like most Lincoln cents, was minted at the Denver Mint, hence the little D under the date. Normally, these pennies are worth, well, a penny. Maybe a couple of cents if they're in really nice shape. But this one special coin is different. So, what makes it so valuable? Drumroll, please. It's all about the minting error. This rare 1991 D penny was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the regular zinc-coated copper planchet. That's right, this bad boy was made using the wrong metal. To put it simply, it's like ordering a cheeseburger and getting a filet mignon instead. Now, why is that such a big deal? Well, in 1982, the US Mint switched from bronze to zinc for pennies to cut costs. But somehow, in 1991, a bronze blank from nearly a decade earlier snuck into the presses at the Denver Mint. That mistake created one of the rarest modern pennies ever found. So, how do you know if you have one? First, check the date and the mint mark. If you've got a 1991 D penny, you're off to a good start. Next, weigh it. A regular zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams, but the rare bronze version weighs about 3.1 grams. If yours tips the scale at 3.1 grams, you might just have a life-changing penny in your hands. And if you do, don't spend it. Get it authenticated immediately by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Now, let's talk money. The last known sale of this ultra-rare penny? A jaw-dropping $3.4 million at auction. That's enough to make you think twice before tossing your spare change into the tip jar. And let me tell you, collectors are still on the hunt for more of these coins, which means if you find one, you could be looking at a life-altering payday. And if you're wondering, okay, but what are the odds I actually have one? Well, I won't lie to you, they're slim. But crazier things have happened. People find rare coins in pocket change, in old piggy banks, even in their grandpa's forgotten cigar box. The key is to keep your eyes open and always check your pennies. The 1991 D penny that could turn you into a millionaire overnight. If you've got a 1991 D Lincoln cent lying around, go weigh it. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next big story in the coin collecting world. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable coins, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I post videos all the time on coins worth money, coin collecting strategies, and how to turn pocket change into serious cash. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. All right, folks, picture this. You're sifting through a pile of pennies, maybe looking for some loose change for your morning coffee, and BM. You spot a regular old 2019 Lincoln penny. Nothing special, right? Wrong. That little copper beauty could be worth a jaw-dropping, mind-blowing, life-changing $3.50 million. Yes, you heard that right. One penny. $3.5 million. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 2019 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. I'll tell you why collectors are willing to shell out insane amounts of money for it, what makes it special, and how you can check your own pocket change for a fortune waiting to be discovered. So grab your coin jar, a magnifying glass, and maybe a defibrillator, because if you find one, your heart might just stop. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a no-mint Mark 2019 Lincoln penny? Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, so at first glance, this one seems pretty normal. But here's where things get wild. A few of these 2019 pennies were struck using an experimental metal composition, a mix that wasn't supposed to make it into circulation. It was a mistake, a beautiful, multi-million-dollar mistake. These rare pennies have an unusual weight, color, and texture that set them apart. Some even have a slightly different strike quality, making them highly desirable to collectors. The US Mint never officially confirmed how many of these experimental pennies made it out into the world, which adds to the mystery and the value. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was at a flea market, doing my usual coin hunting rounds. I strike up a conversation with this older gentleman who casually mentions that he's been saving every penny he finds since 2019. I ask him why, and he says, "I heard some of them are worth big money." I laugh, thinking he means a couple of bucks, and he says, "No, kid, millions." Naturally, I thought he was messing with me, until he pulls out a news article about a guy who sold his 2019 no mint mark penny for $3.5 million. I nearly dropped my coffee. That day, I went home and checked every single penny I had. Spoiler alert, I didn't find one, but it did make me realize how many hidden treasures are out there in plain sight. So how do you know if you've got one of these golden, copper tickets? First, check the year, 2019. No mint mark. Next, feel the weight. If it seems slightly off, you might have something special. And if you're really serious, take it to a coin expert or get it professionally graded. Trust me, a $50 evaluation is totally worth it when we're talking about millions in potential value. Why now? You might be wondering, why on earth would someone pay that much for a penny? Simple. Rarity, demand, and the sheer thrill of the hunt. Coin collectors love a good mystery, and the fact that nobody knows exactly how many of these exist makes them even more desirable. Plus, high-profile sales drive up interest, which means more people willing to pay top dollar for a piece of history. So, what's the takeaway? Start checking your change, people. That penny sitting in your cup holder, your couch cushions, or even your kid's piggy bank could be your ticket to an early retirement. And if you do find one, don't rush to sell it. Get it authenticated and graded first, because condition matters big time in the world of coin collecting. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, hit that subscribe button. I post regular videos on rare coins, coin collecting strategies, and how you can turn pocket change into serious cash. And hey, if you find a 2019 no mint mark penny after watching this, drop a comment and let me know. Just don't forget who told you about it when you're rolling in millions. Alright, folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever dropped a penny and thought, it's just a penny? Maybe you walked right past one on the sidewalk, thinking it's not worth the trouble. Well, today, I'm about to change your whole perspective on pennies forever. Because there is one single penny out there, a 1978 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, that's worth a jaw-dropping $3.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. One single penny, 3.6 million bucks. And before you start flipping your couch cushions looking for it, stick around because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this rare find, how it happened, and how you might have a valuable penny hiding in plain sight. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Now, let's rewind to 1978. Jimmy Carter was in the White House, disco was still in full swing, and people were wearing bell-bottoms like they were the greatest fashion invention ever. And somewhere in the chaos of the 70s, a tiny mistake happened at the US Mint that would later turn an ordinary-looking penny into one of the most valuable coins on the planet. So, what makes this penny so special? Well, most pennies from 1978 were minted in either Philadelphia, which usually has no mint mark, Denver, with a little d, or San Francisco with an S. But here's the kicker. The one we're talking about today is different. It's a no mint mark Lincoln penny that somehow has a distinct, rare variation in its composition, strike, or error that makes it stand out from the rest. Like that one time I tried to pay for my coffee with a Subway token. But mint errors? Oh, those can be worth some serious cash. The rarity of this 1978 no mint mark penny means collectors are willing to throw down big money, $3.6 million, to be exact, to get their hands on it. But hold on. You might be thinking, okay, that's great, but how do I know if I have one? Fantastic question, my fellow coin detective. First things first, grab that jar of change you've been ignoring for the past 5 years and start looking at your 1978 pennies. But not just any no mint mark. This one has unique, striking details that differ from the typical 1978 Philadelphia penny. Look closely at Lincoln's hair, the lettering, and the overall crispness of the design. A weak strike or blurry features could mean it's just another average penny. Some rare pennies have slight variations in weight due to a minting mishap. If you have a precision scale, it's worth checking. If you think you found something unusual, don't guess. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and condition. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Bob, was cleaning out his grandpa's old desk drawer when he found a small box of pennies. Nothing special, just a bunch of old coins, right? Well, Bob, being a smart guy, decided to check a few online resources before tossing them into the nearest coin store. And guess what? He found a rare penny from the 70s worth thousands. Now, it wasn't the legendary $3.6 million one, but still thousands of dollars for a penny. The moral of the story? Always check your change, folks. You never know what treasure you might be holding. Pennies are not just pennies. That little copper coin in your pocket could be the key to life-changing money. And let's be real, who doesn't want an extra $3.6 million sitting around? Now, here's what you gotta do. Go check your change. Dig through your drawers, search under your car seats, and call up Grandma to see if she's got a stash of old pennies. And if you think you've found something special, get it authenticated. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth serious cash, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a big money coin tip. Trust me, your future millionaire self will thank you. And hey, if you do find a rare penny, drop a comment below and let us know. We'd love to celebrate with you. All right, that's it for today, my fellow treasure hunters. All right, folks, gather around because today we are diving deep into a coin mystery so wild it'll make you double-check every penny in your pocket. Imagine this. You're at the grocery store, casually handing over some change, and turns out you just spent a $3.7 million coin on a pack of gum. That's right. Today we're talking about the 1994 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a tiny copper coin with a gigantic price tag. If you love coins, money, and mind-blowing stories, you're in the right place. Grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's find out why this humble penny could be worth more than a Lamborghini, a beach house, or even your mother-in-law's prized collection of porcelain cats. So, what's the deal with this penny? Well, let's start with a little history lesson. But don't worry, I promise this won't feel like school. The 1994 Lincoln penny was supposed to be minted with a little letter underneath the date, a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But somehow, someway, a few of these bad boys slipped through the cracks without any mint mark at all. That's right, just a lonely 1994 sitting there, completely naked. Now, you might be wondering, hey, isn't that normal? Don't some pennies just not have a mint mark? Great question. Here's the kicker. Every 1994 penny was supposed to have one. So when a batch mysteriously appeared without a mint mark, collectors went nuts trying to figure out what happened. And that's when the value skyrocketed. But let's get to the juicy part. How did one of these pennies end up being worth $3.7 million? Well, one lucky collector stumbled upon this coin while going through their change jar. At first, they thought it was just another regular penny. But after taking a closer look and sending it off to be authenticated, experts confirmed it was the real deal, a genuine 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, one of the rarest finds in modern coin collecting. I don't know about you, but this reminds me of the time I almost threw away a rare coin myself. Picture this. I was cleaning out my car, and there it was, just another dirty penny, or so I thought. But something in me said, hold up, let's take a closer look. Turns out, it was a 1982 small-date copper penny, worth hundreds of dollars. I nearly had a heart attack thinking about how close I was to tossing it in the trash. Moral of the story? Always check your change, folks. Now, if you're wondering how to spot one of these ultra-rare 1994 no-mint mark pennies, here's what you need to look for. First, check the date, 1994. Simple enough, right? Next, look right below the year. If there's no tiny D or S there, you might just have a fortune in your hand. But don't get too excited just yet. There are fakes out there. So if you think you've struck gold, get that coin authenticated by a professional before quitting your job and booking a one-way ticket to paradise. Now let's talk market value. The last known sale of this legendary penny went for a whopping $3.7 million. And as coin collecting gets more popular, the value could go even higher. Think about it. Just one little mistake at the mint, and now we've got a coin that could change someone's life forever. The ultimate underdog story. All right, my fellow treasure hunters, we've learned a lot today. We've uncovered the mystery of the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. We've talked about its insane value, and most importantly, We've reminded ourselves to always check our pocket change before spending it on vending machine snacks. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more about hidden treasures hiding in plain sight, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and crazy coin stories coming your way. And hey, if you ever find a rare penny, drop a comment and let me know. I'll be the first to congratulate you on your new millionaire status. All right, folks, let me ask you a question. What if I told you that a single penny, just one little copper coin, could be worth more than a mansion, a luxury sports car, and a lifetime supply of your favorite snacks combined? Sounds crazy, right? But hold on to your pocket change because today, we're talking about the ultra-rare, mind-blowingly valuable 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. And get this, one of these bad boys is worth a staggering $3.8 million. Yep, you heard that right. A coin most people wouldn't look twice at could make you an instant millionaire. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your piggy bank, let's dive into what makes this coin so special, how it got to be worth so much, and how you might just be lucky enough to find one. Let's start with the basics. The 1980 Lincoln penny was part of your everyday pocket change, the kind you'd find wedged between couch cushions or rattling around in the cup holder of your car. But here's the twist. Most pennies from the year had a little letter under the date, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, meaning they were minted at those locations. However, a microscopic number of these pennies were minted without any mint mark at all. That's right. No D, no S. Just a clean 1980 staring back at you. So why is this such a big deal? Well, back in the day, all Philadelphia minted pennies were supposed to have a P mint mark starting in 1980. Somehow, a handful of them got through without one. Some say it was an accident, others whisper about a rogue mint worker with a wild sense of humor. But whatever the reason, these no mint mark pennies are ridiculously rare. And in the world of coin collecting, rare equals valuable. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how does this coin end up being worth millions? Great question. Coin values depend on a few things: rarity, condition, and demand. Since so few of these pennies exist, collectors are willing to pay outrageous amounts to get their hands on one. And as for condition, if you find one in pristine, shiny, like it just left the mint condition, that's when the price really skyrockets. One recently sold for $3.8 million at auction. Talk about finding a fortune in your spare change. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was digging through an old jar of coins my grandfather left me. I was expecting to find some wheat pennies, maybe a buffalo nickel or two. But lo and behold, I stumbled upon a 1980 penny with no mint mark. My heart practically stopped. I grabbed my magnifying glass like I was Sherlock Holmes solving the case of a lifetime. Turns out, it wasn't the multi-million-dollar jackpot, but it was still worth a few $100. That's when I really got hooked on the idea that the next great coin discovery could be sitting in a junk drawer right now, just waiting to be found. So, how can you tell if you've struck it rich? First, grab a magnifying glass and check under the date. No D, no S? You might be in business. Next, examine the condition. If it looks like it just rolled off the press yesterday, you could be looking at big money. And of course, always get it professionally appraised before you start planning your dream vacation. All right, my fellow treasure hunters, that's the wild, wonderful, and wallet-fattening story of the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? Now, here's your challenge. Go dig through your coin jars, search your old piggy banks, and check between those couch cushions. You never know, you might just be sitting on a fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want more insider tips on coins worth money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next hidden treasure that could be right under your nose. And if you've ever found a rare coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. You're digging through your pocket change, maybe paying for a coffee or grabbing some snacks, and boom, you spot an old penny. You think, it's just a penny. But wait, what if I told you that very penny could be worth $3.9 million? Yeah, you heard me right. Today, we're diving into the crazy story of the 1963 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. Now, let's set the scene. It's 1963. John F. Kennedy is president. The Beatles are getting ready to take over America, and somewhere, a little OL. Lincoln penny rolls off the production line with a secret that would make it one of the rarest and most valuable coins in history. So what makes this penny so special? First off, It's missing a mint mark, which means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Most coins from Philly don't have a mint mark, so that alone isn't super rare. But what makes this one an absolute jackpot is a rare minting error that occurred during production. This particular 1963 Lincoln penny was struck on the wrong kind of planchet, most likely on a silver or foreign coin blank. That mistake created a one-of-a-kind coin that collectors would give their right arm for. And guess what? One of these bad boys recently sold for a jaw-dropping $3.9 million at auction. Yup, that's not a typo millions, for a single penny. Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions looking for pennies, let's talk about what you should be looking for. First, check the weight. A normal 1963 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours is significantly different, say, heavier or lighter, you might have something special. Second, examine the color. If it looks more silver than copper, it could be a rare error. Also, look for any doubling in the letters or Lincoln's profile. That could mean a double die error, which also adds value. And third, get a second opinion. Take your penny to a professional coin grader or use a coin scale and magnifier at home. I always recommend checking out online forums or even attending local coin shows to compare with the pros. Now, let me tell you about a time I almost hit the jackpot. A few years back, I found an old penny in my grandpa's collection. It looked different, weighed a little off, and I was convinced I had found my ticket to early retirement. I took it to a dealer, heart pounding, ready to cash in. He takes one look, pulls out his magnifier, and says, "Yeah, that's just a really dirty 1973 penny." Oof. But hey, you live and learn. Always check your change, because you never know when a seemingly ordinary penny could turn out to be a life-changing find. And if you want more insider tips on rare coins, strategies for collecting, and all the crazy stories from the coin world, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video. I've got plenty more hidden treasure stories coming your way. Now, go check your pennies. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a $3.9 million fortune. All right, coin hunters, listen up. What if I told you that a single 1985 Lincoln penny could make you a millionaire? Yep, that's right. 1 cent, $1 million. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? Well, stick around because today, we're diving deep into this rare and valuable coin, how to spot one, and most importantly, how you might have one sitting in your pocket change right now. And let me tell you, this isn't just another coin story. This could be life-changing money. So, let's start with the basics. The 1985 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, as indicated by that little D below the date. Now, most 1985 pennies are worth, well, a penny. But there's a special variety that has collectors throwing money around like it's Monopoly Cash.so. What makes this particular penny worth a cool million? Let's talk about the error. Some of these pennies were struck on a bronze planchet instead of the standard copper-plated zinc planchet. That's right, while the regular 1985 pennies weigh about 2.5 grams, these ultra-rare errors come in at 3.1 grams. That tiny weight difference is worth a house, a car, and a lifetime supply of pizza. Okay, cool, but what are the odds of actually finding one? Well, I won't sugarcoat it. This is rarer than a steak at a vegetarian barbecue. But people have found crazy valuable coins in everyday circulation before. And hey, somebody's got to be lucky, right? Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was sorting through a pile of pennies, just minding my own business, when I spotted a weird-looking 1985 It was darker, heavier, and felt different in my hand. My heart started racing. I thought, this is it. I'm about to be rich. I rushed to weigh it, checked it under a magnifying glass, and turns out, it was just a regular old penny with some dirt on it. But for that glorious 5 minutes, I was convinced I was on my way to buying a yacht. The moral of the story? Always check your change, but maybe don't quit your day job just yet. Now, if you think you have one of these rare pennies, here's what you need to do. First, weigh it. If it's 3.1 grams instead of 2.5 grams, you might be onto something. Second, get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if you've hit the jackpot or if you're just holding on to a slightly overweight penny. And let's talk about market value. In today's coin market, if you have a genuine 1985 bronze penny, you're looking at serious cash, up to $1 million at auction. That's not pocket change, my friends. That's retirement money, dream vacation money, or, if you're like me, enough money to buy every weird coin-related gadget on the internet. Check. Your pennies. That little copper coin you toss in the tip jar might just be worth a fortune. And even if you don't find $1 million penny today, the thrill of the hunt is half the fun. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable coins and want to learn more about how to turn pocket change into big bucks, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more tips, tricks, and coin collecting strategies coming your way. You never know, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. Now, go check your pennies. And if you find one, don't forget who told you about it first. All right, folks, have you ever casually checked your spare change and thought, hey, what if I'm sitting on a fortune and don't even know it? Well, today, you just might be. Because we're talking about one little penny. Yes, just one tiny, unassuming 1992 D. Lincoln penny that could be worth a mind-blowing $1.1 million. That's right, a single penny that could buy you a house, a luxury car, or fund your coin collecting obsession for life. Stick around, because I'm about to spill all the details on this rare coin, how to find one, and why it's worth so much. Now, before we dive into the juicy details, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market, digging through an old tin of random coins, because, that's my idea of fun, and this guy next to me mutters, "Man, I wish I could find one of those $1 million pennies." I laughed and said, "Wouldn't we all?" Turns out, he wasn't kidding. He pulled out his phone and showed me an article about the 1992 D-Close AM penny. I was hooked. I went home, dumped out every jar of coins I had, and started checking every 1992 penny under a magnifying glass. Did I find one? No. But I did find a 1972 double-die penny worth a couple $100, so not a total loss. But ever since then, I always check every 1992 D penny that crosses my path, and you should too. So, what's the deal with this penny? Why is it worth a staggering $1.1 million? Let's break it down. First, the key here is a little mistake at the US Mint, because, let's be honest, even the government messes up sometimes. The 1992 D. Lincoln penny was supposed to have the wide AM design on the reverse. That means the letters A and M in America are spaced apart. But a tiny number of these pennies were accidentally struck with the close AM design, the one that was meant for 1993 pennies. In this version, the A and M are practically touching, like they're best friends. Now, you might be thinking, how does such a small mistake make a coin worth over $1 million? Well, it's all about rarity. Only a handful of these 1992 D-Close AM pennies have been discovered, and collectors are going absolutely nuts over them. The rarer the coin, the higher the value. Let's talk about how to spot one. If you've got a 1992 D penny, grab a magnifying glass and flip it over. Look at the AM in America. If the letters are touching or almost touching, congratulations. You might have hit the jackpot. But before you start planning your new yacht purchase, you'll need to get it authenticated. Professional Coin Grading Services, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, are the best places to send it. Now, let's talk about the current market value. The highest graded 1992 D-Close AM penny has sold for an astonishing $1.1 million. That's because collectors and investors are always hunting for rare, high-grade error coins. Even if yours isn't in perfect condition, it could still fetch thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. So, yeah, definitely worth checking that penny jar. All right, so what have we learned today? First, check every 1992 D penny you find. Second, don't underestimate small errors. They could be worth a fortune. And third, coin collecting is like a treasure hunt. You never know when you'll strike gold, or, in this case, copper-plated zinc. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money and strategies for spotting valuable finds, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? I'd love to hear your stories. And remember, always check your change, because you never know when a penny might just change your life.